Hey folks, today we got a project where there's a awesome um, porch enclosure here, but after she had this done, we realized there's another little problem here. Their security system is a ring system, and with this enclosure, it puts the ring way back at the back of the porch, and we need to move it out here up front so it'll work for the security system. And with the ring way back there, well, it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring. So we'll see what Dad can do about it. So the ring is back here, and we're gonna fish it around and make sure that it is hidden. We're gonna come down through the top here so that way it won't show anywhere when we complete it. And feed it down to the height that the homeowner wants. So Keith and I are going to work on this, and let you guys watch as we go through. And we're starting here with taking the ring off. Now folks, the ring has a little Torx bit under the bottom here that Keith's going to take out in order for us to take this down. It'll take just a second here. All right, so we're taking the screw out the very bottom of the ring here. So if you have a ring, I think this is it's kind of dim. It's a T,
It says V115, T15.
T15, all right, so your ring is gonna be a T15, and that little screw needs to come out of the bottom of it before you can actually remove it. So we're taking that out now. I'm gonna keep this secure because as you can see, it's pretty small. And so you wanna make sure you got that so when you put your ring on the outside, you don't have to look for your hardware. We ended up having to take these little tiny screws out from 4 different locations. Right there, down here, you can see that right where my thumb is, and then up above it. And that's allowing us to take the ring away from the bracket here. All right, now down in there, it looks like it's very low voltage wiring, and it's 2 simple wires that's going to it. All right, so we're going to disassemble that. We're going to find a way to make sure we recess this wire back behind this molding and feed it up. We've gotten the wiring out and the plate. Now your mount may be different if you guys are transferring it, but if you're initially putting it up, you won't have to worry about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend off of this. Now back when this house was built, they used phone wire. What we've got is some low voltage bell wire right here that we're going to use. And it's fairly thin, so you don't need a big bit. We're going to drill back to try and get behind the molding, and we'll fill this molding in so it'll look solid once we get there, so that way everything will just disappear. So we're going to get a bit, and we're going to try to go at an angle. We might have to go at the right angle, meaning coming straight in from the side and feeding the wire back. So we'll figure that out, and we'll be back. Well, it's apparent what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drill at a right angle here to try and get the hole back in here where we want it, so we can hide it behind the siding here. So we're going to get a bit that's going to be, slightly larger because we're going to have to wrestle the wire back through. We're going to drill it at a 90, and then we'll fish it back through the other side so we can take it up the side. So what I ended up having to do is we drilled a hole a little deeper here to meet the other hole that we drilled on this back side. You can see it down in there. What we're going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of this wire that we're going to install as like a fish tape. I'm going to feed it through. Once I can get it fed through, I'll tape the actual wire we're going to put on there, and I'll pull it through. So we're going to use this as a fish. Just going to curve it a little bit, feed it through. And there it is. All right, so I'm going to get some electrical tape. All right. I'm gonna take this and tape it all together here. Now, something you might want to do is, depending on how big your hole is, I think you might be big enough, is you want to curl the fish backwards. Let me get something to turn that. Now what this will do for us is it'll make sure that they don't pull outside of the tape once we put them together. Now the downside is it does make it a little bulky. But nothing's worse than, especially if you're fishing something that's aggravating, to get it started and then your fishing wire or fishing tape separates behind the wall and you pull one through and the other's still there. Kind of like what I just did. Feed that back through. Yeah. Well, I'm going to use that piece that's too short. Feed it back. Just put this little neck on it so it doesn't just pull itself through while I'm getting the tape. Now what I want to do is I want to not only tape them together to hold it, but I want to make it a tapered little connection so it'll help it slide through. This is not going to be the easiest, and since it's such a narrow area, I'll have to be very skimpy on how much tape I use because it'll make it really fat and difficult to pull through. So let's hope it goes through on the first run. Just gonna pull it and feed it. Get a little too fat, let's see. Yep. All right, so we're gonna have to open this hole up and then we'll be able to feed it through nice and easy. What I also did was I started separating the additional colors. So it's green, red, yellow, and black. We're only gonna use the green and red. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the trend going. We're gonna use the red on the red and the white we'll use as the green. I'm gonna go ahead and clip this, get that out of the way. So we can do a little larger hole to feed the other wire through. Now that we're clear with that extra wire, this should clear us. And again, we are going to fill that hole. All right. A little patience. Sometimes you got to back up. But once the hardest part's done, life is wonderful. Get that. I'm going to curl the red back. Feed this red through again. Make the two reds. Crush them together. Likely you will never use the little end of any electrical wire you go through, because you're going to strip it or you're going to cut it to length, something along those lines. So remember, whatever you're sending through, several inches of it might not be used at all. So don't feel like you're held up with making a cut or adjustment. All right, onto that tapered bonding. So slide through the wall. Again, just a couple of wraps. We're not pulling through a long conduit or anything, so we just need to hold for a couple seconds to get us through. And here we go. Give it another shot. And there we go. All right, so that's the first hurdle. And I'm going to take this off. I'm going to bond these two with some quick connect wire cables. Cable quick connects. I'm going to use these from Ideal. They're for Cat 5 cable. It's about the size of that. It should be just fine. We'll give it a shot. If not, then we'll use some different connectors. All right, so I discovered there's a little bit of a problem. The connectors that we want to use, they're going to take up a little more space than what we got in this opening. So as you can see, it's going to be two of them, and that's a lot of space. So we need to create a cavity, so when we connect them, we can put these behind it, and then we'll fill that area with some hard rock putty or Durham, whatever you guys may know it as, and make this look solid again. This is something I've been using for a long time, and it works really great, folks. Give it a try. You have to make sure that when you paint it, though, you have a primer on it, because it doesn't take paint as easy. But make sure you prime it up before you try to paint over it. So we're going to go ahead and drill close to the hole. Take out enough of this wood. That would help if it's in gear. So we can recess those fittings. All right, see how it's going in, folks? I'm gonna leave this edge so it'll be easier for us when we fill it. It'll have something to fill against versus trying to make a straight edge. That's where it starts looking kind of wonky and crappy. So make sure that we're not damaging our little wire. And you'll see where our hole came through from the other side. Now this should be deep enough for us to recess these in, but I want to make it flat so that way when we put them in there, it'll be easy to see them. All right, now that's a nice little cavity for our wiring to recess in, and we can do all of our wire work right there. It's almost like making a wooden version of a J-box. All right, so now we're going to push this through again, and if we'd known that we were going to have a minimal amount of space, could have did this from the beginning, right? And it'll feed it right through. We're going to do our wiring work right here. All right, so I'll get those connectors and we'll jump on that. So this is an awesome tool. This vice grip tool here is for splitting and crimping. You set the length of the strip by this little yellow piece here. You sit it against it, and you just squeeze the pliers. And there we are. The length is already stripped for us, and all we're going to do now is connect it. Remember, we're putting the red on red, and the green and white are going to go on the other side. All right, so I got to measure this just to make sure the extra stripping isn't going to be too long and expose the wire. And it looks like they're both okay. And make sure you feed them into the crimp area. And you can see it through this clear backing. You folks probably won't see it on the camera, but I can see the copper going through. And there's a little tool that's with it. And you can do it with regular pliers, but if you buy the kit, it comes with a little tool. And that little area right here is what's used to close that off. You push that red button together. And there we are. As quick as that, the connection is complete and it's solid. I'm going to do the exact same thing to the green and white. Straighten that out a little bit. Feed this one in. And I'm going to feed the green in. And we standardized our colors, so now we know that red is red and the other is the white. All right. So now the connection is done. What we want to do is we want to find out where it's going to sit best for us. It seems to be just there. All right, so when he does the filling, we got an option. We can put a little something over this, piece of plastic or something, and then fill, so that if he does have to take that out for any particular reason, it won't be grabbing the wires. But other than that, we are ready to feed it. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna make sure that I've got a little bit of slack here. I always leave a little slack wherever I'm feeding, so that way if we need to do anything at any time, we don't end up at a dead end, just or a difficult end to work with like we had here where they did it and it was nothing for slack right there. Now we're going to feed it over, and that should get us out to the other point where we're going to do the detail work. That's going to be the kicker right there.
Get that corner, Jake.
Exactly how I got all my security cable running. Tucked behind that side.
Slack.
Yeah. All right, so now that's what we got to do. That last piece right there of siding. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, Keith. You got it. All right. So now this is where I got to get the siding to pop out. Move this here. Should be able to just snap that piece out because it should be the only thing over there. Because they cut it to come across that door. It should be that one little piece. Oh, don't get us no troubles. You don't want no troubles, okay? You folks can see right here, this piece of siding right here, this one little piece, we're going to try and pop that out so we can get behind it and pop it back on. Now, this can be difficult, especially if the siding is in really good shape. The ability for it to lock in, it reaches up under the previous piece that's below it. So we got to figure out if we can get it to pop. Now, they've got little J-shaped tools that you can purchase, but for this little amount here, didn't see it as a necessity. I've been able to do it before. I'm under it. Try and get it to let go without damaging anything. Or maybe, just maybe, the cable is thin enough that we can tuck it. Oh, and wait. It might tuck keep. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going.
All right. So instead of, so I'm tucking it into the little channel that's under there that actually locks it. There's enough space in there for the cable to fit in there. So I don't think we're gonna have to pop it off at all. So I'm gonna give it a shot, see if it hides and stays well for us. If it does, then that is one of the concerns I had for the job. And if it works out, then we're really gonna be flying. Here I was kind of snapping into that joint, worked out just fine. All right, it's gonna stay there because the pressure that the siding is using to hold itself together is actually holding the wire behind it for us. So all we gotta do now is the child's play part. We're gonna feed it into the channels. Gonna go over the top of this next one. Now this low voltage wiring is very rigid because it's solid, even though it's thin. So doing a little pre-stretching or pre-forming helps out quite a bit also. So we'll just feed it into all of these open areas. All right. I'm gonna move you folks out of the way here, and we're gonna feed it all the way across the top to the door. This has gone already. So we can work on getting that wheel right further back. We gotta be looking for it, but still. Oh yeah. Oh, it's going good.
Just gotta love when the plan comes together.
Yeah. Sure. I thought I might pop it off, but that channel is like, it's got enough pressure against it. I was like, that's holding pretty good. I don't know if I need to even pop it off. Sure enough, you're in there.
Wipe back down.
Uh-huh. I gotta get a tiller. And I gotta get it quick. I don't want to rip one because as soon as I get done with the garden and stuff, the plan is to do the sidewalk, just like y'all's right there. Because walking around there in that soggy grass and stuff, that's where the birds. Kim's yard don't have a lot of drainage, and she don't do too much outdoor stuff. And so they haven't done anything down there where the water turns on the drain back behind us.
Yeah.
And it picks up speed coming down, so
Washes everything out.
yeah, I've lived in my yard, I've probably in my yard, I brought all them trucks of sand and stuff in there. And mine's up higher, so it don't come into my yard, but it goes into Kim's yard and starts coming out the front. And so that's how I was getting us at the gate. I thought I was gonna fight with that dirty siding and a couple things gonna be issues, man. This thing, oh. You gotta plant some trees and stuff today.
There's a chance of rain, so it shouldn't be too bad. More scattered than anything. See the wind's picking up a little.
Yeah. Till feet about getting down. Like it's something enough. Let's do the exact same thing. Oh, Keith. Yeah, buddy.
You know I keep it something for you.
Yeah.
I didn't give you too difficult a project.
Yeah. Oh, now look at it. It's gone. Oh, boy. Look at Honda.
Oh yeah.
Go. Here's where the next challenge is.
Oh yeah.
Back on challenge. Why?
Man, can't even see that.
Nice. Don't look like we're getting up and taking the ring down.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now here's our next challenge. We got to determine a path where the drill can come straight up and through.
Yeah, don't lose them screws, man. I got them in that cap.
Yeah, okay. And we need a long enough setup to go through. This is the smallest I got that will chuck.
That's nice.
See, it'll chuck.
Oh, okay.
And then
We're using this one.
well, I don't know yet. Let's see. I think it'll do it.
A good cigar.
Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. Now here's the tricky part. We're going to drill at an angle here so we can feed that tiny little wire through. 3/8 is the thinnest bit that I've got, so that's where we're going to go. Keeps making sure that my angle is good, and I'm going to start. Start our hole, and we're going through. Let me know if I'm showing.
Yeah.
We are?
No.
Huh.
Actually, your angle is going to project here from your projection. It's supposed to come here, not here.
All right, that's no good. Back it out. Back it down. Back it in.
So,
Yeah.
is there a way of starting lower for that type of degree of angle?
Well, trying not to go.
Hit the metal. Yeah.
because I don't want to put a hole in your piece that's.
Yeah, because that'll kill the water.
Yeah, so.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm having to realign the hole.
Oh, you hit the vinyl.
Is it
Yeah, the J channel.
just under the vinyl or way back?
It's right at the J channel.
Okay, so if it's
So when you press, it's hit here. I can feel it. See
but
it
no
push.
hole is
Not yet.
okay. Back off again. Trying to go further down.
J channel. You're hitting right here.
Wait, can you see a hole at all?
No, not yet. I can feel the bit. There you go. I see the bit
Okay.
at the J channel. Yeah.
Is it cutting the J channel?
Mm-hmm.
How much would it cut?
I mean, you got that much. You got that much tip coming through. Let me show
Okay.
you. Let me show you.
Is it acceptable though?
It works.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure it's hidden.
Everybody get one left.
Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, folks. We went in and out a couple times trying to make sure that the angle was just right, so it's hidden on the inside and it's not damaging any of the J channel or anything that we don't want showing the wrong way. So out here on the outside, let me show you. Took it at an angle and we drilled it here, like we said, because we want to hide it. So with it being so thin, this hole is going to allow us to go through and not mess with any of the metal here. The metal's going to be fine. We went through the wood. He's going to backfill that, and we'll feed the wire right through here. And when we feed that wire through, we'll just fill that with the caulking, and it's going to hide right here in the channel all the way down to the ring where we're going to put it. We fed it all the way over. We drilled the hole, and it's going to feed out. And the low voltage is coming out exactly where we want it to. Now we've got to get the owner to let us know exactly where she wants to ring.
Yep.
Okay. All right, folks. So she says she wanted at the same line of sight as before, so we got that spot marked. And what we're going to do now is we're going to install the screws that's going to hold it in place. Now, I'm going to leave them a little loose because we want to feed this wire behind it. So I'm just going to put it in place so we know where it goes. Thank you. And we'll run it down once we have the wire placed. All right, so now I want to show you what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and feed the wire right behind here. and we'll terminate it where we need it to go. But getting it behind the plate is what we're going to do now. Just simply feed it in. I'm going to snip this so we don't have to fight with the tape. And we're just going to sit it behind there so when we put the ring there, we can terminate the wires. Be right back. All right, now we're going to reassemble the ring setup. Wires back there for us to terminate. We're going to go ahead and run these screws. Stripped. Really difficult. Straighten it out for another. I like to give you some cheap hardware with electronics quite often, so that's why I keep good hardware if I run across it with anything. Put it up top. That one's stripped, so I'm going to take this other good one and put it on the top. I choose that spot if I've got to default because gravity. All right, so the base plate is in. Now this is where we're going to make our terminations inside of this semi J box or box, whatever you want to refer to it as. This plate's going to go on. We're going to put 2 mounting screws here. Again, folks, I'm just using the screws that were in the other location. Give you a little tip on drilling. With the soft screws and things like that, if you get it started and you pulsate it, you're less likely to strip it. So if you're worried about stripping heads, pulsate the drill and that'll keep you from stripping it. All right? We are solid and in place. Okay, now it's time to reassemble the ring. However, the ring has little connections here. So these connections, you'll notice, if you can see it here, this one's a little turned down. We're going to clean up these wires first so we get a good connection. Just going to straighten this back out. And since it is strand wire, straighten it as much as I can and twist those strands back together so we have a solid connection. The ring, I believe, came with wire nuts. When we took it apart, it had a wire nut on it. And I don't see an indication on here for the white or the red, so it may be universal. Yeah, nothing gives me an indication of white or red. So it may be a little trial and error here, but we're going to put it back with the white to the right and the red to the left. Now, folks, I love quick connects. I'm going to use these low voltage little quick connects here on this as well. Bottom. White to the right. Make sure both are seated. And then just a simple click and the termination is done. sure the next one's the same. Feed all the way up. And if that was giving me a little bit of an issue, straighten out those wires. The knot right there where one of the strands isn't falling in line with the others. Alright, it's almost like combing hair. There we go. The knot's gone. Let's see if it's going to seat. There we go, all the way in. Alright, and now the final one. And it is seated completely. Now a simple click for the tool. All right. Uh-oh. It's just on the tip. I don't particularly like that. It's holding. Oh, can't get it out. I guess it might be all right. It's solid. All right, so it's solid. So we got to test it anyway. I'm not familiar with how the ring works. So what does the wire do? Connect it to the internet, or does it do wireless?
This should be wireless.
And this is just so the wire just is for the charge. You charge the battery? Okay. So, I don't particularly like the way the screws are holding this out.
It's not flexible.
But only thing you can do is run them in tighter.
Yeah.
And it's going to probably do a little bit of an indenture. So, what the concern is the mounting screws here we used. The head of it is sticking out and pushing the ring away. Now this ring is going to be out in the weather, so if we can't get it to seat any further, we're going to have to seal it some sort of way so that the water doesn't get down in to the wire area. So I'm going to run the screws down, see if that'll seat a little better, and we'll go from there.
And I do have.
All right, folks, the modification was successful. We ran the screws down, it concaved it just a bit, and so it'll allow us to sit flat. So now we're just going to put these screws back in. They're tiny little screws. Let's sit this on the tip. It's not. So since the head on this is not magnetic, I'm going to feed it into the ring. So that'll hold it. And then I'm going to make sure the wires recess into the mount. And folks, I'm going to simply start it. I don't want to cross thread anything. So I'm going to start it. And once I get all of them started, I'll run them in. I like to do the opposite. It's just like torquing a rim onto the car or anything along those lines. It helps things seat evenly if you stagger. Okay. All right, once I put this last one in, I'm going to run it all the way, and then we'll go back and run the other ones to ground. Slightly missing the hole. There we go. Oh, this is a different screw.
Is it?
Yep. That's a Torx head. All right, so it helps you if you put the right screw in. I just threw the wrong one in there, so we're gonna go back, put the right one in. There we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Yeah. I'm gonna reduce that torque just a little bit because it's plastic. We don't want to over torque it and strip out the base. Okay. All right, our ring is in place. Now, remember that Torx bit that we were talking about a little earlier? It is a T15 or something like that. Gonna get that other Torx bit and run that back in there and we'll be right back. All right, Torx bit's going on the bottom. Put this back in place and it locks the outer cover into place. Now, I love these ratchet screwdrivers. I don't always have to move it. I can hold it in place and put pressure against the bottom of it and turn it. All right, the ring is in place. Now what we're going to do now is we are going to feed the wire back and we're going to press it into the channel and we're going to keep it taut. All right, the tighter we keep it, the easier it's going to be when he puts the sealant on to hide it. Okay, keep it, you can pull that back, yeah. Nice and easy. All right, just a little bit pressure. All right, that's it. All right. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure these wires are pretty straight, take some of the kinks out of them. And this little work of straightening these wires is gonna make a big difference when you're putting sealant or whatever over the top of it. So now, they're small enough to where they can be recessed and you gotta look for it. All right. So folks, let me take you inside, show you what's going on there. So he's tucking it back in the little J channels there. So we have the excess. So at any given time, we want to pull more wire down or redo the connection point for termination, we can. All done.